Go.
Okay, what I got is the Ring doorbell, and it's a Ring Doorbell Pro. It's the hard wire, and I have not installed it yet because it says it's easy to do, which we know it's not. So just to show you that they have several things to match your outdoor siding or whatever. And they give you everything here, and you get all the tools with it. They give you a screwdriver, a thing for your drill, and it says easy instructions. Hold on a second.
The screwdriver is special because it has a screw one end up toward the bottom of the doorbell, and that way nobody else can take off the cover.
Oh.
Yes. If you take that little silver point out and turn it around, it's two pieces. Pull it out. Should be able to pull it out. There you go. It has a special screw on the bottom of the doorbell.
Thank you, JJ.
You're welcome. I have two of these darn things.
Do they work?
I don't know how it works yet. So once I install it, we'll figure that out. But then they give you these things, and I'm like, I have no clue. I just want people to show if you buy it what you come getting. You got little wires. So, when you're getting it, you're gonna look at it and go, okay, what do I do? So my nephew was gonna come and install it, but it was getting too cold. And the way my doorbell is next to some molding, we're gonna have to do modification. So it's not just screw it in and that's it. And they do state that if you need any help, they're there for you online, on the phone, like that. So just so you know, you get a lot of things in this.
If they push it,
So that's all I have to say. I'll let you know if it works. Thank you. The Ring doorbell broke here. You have to hardwire it. Isn't it? The other one you had a battery. You have two options. There's two batteries.
I have the Ring 1 and the Ring 2, and both of those are battery operated. The Ring 1 has an internal battery, and you have to pull it down about every 4 or 5 months and charge it. The Ring 2 has interchangeable batteries, so you can charge it up. Right now, I've had it for about 4 months, and it's still got about 80% battery life on it. So I'm thinking about every 6 or 7 months I have to change the battery down. But I got 2 batteries, so I'll get to pull one battery out and swap it.
A lot of people, a lot of us like to be entertained, and so I found that, I used to have DirecTV, and it started to cost way over $100 a month. So I said, well, I got to do something about this. So I bought this. This is it's hard to see. It's a circuit board. It plugs into a piece, a desktop computer, and it will play and or record 4 channels of antenna television at once. So that's a lot of the shows I like are on the antenna. And nowadays they fixed up the TV antenna reception, so it gets a lot more channels than it used to. It used to be like maybe 5 or 6 channels you could get, but now it's like almost 100 channels, probably more than that. And there's like something for everyone. This would cost about $100. You take the coaxial cable that comes from your antenna on the rope and plug it in. It comes with software. The software isn't all that great. I hope to change the software that I'm using to record this. It works. It does a fairly good job, but one of the things it does, there's a little checkbox that says keep recording this channel on this time slot. It's forever, and so you check the forever box, and 2 weeks later it forgets that you've done that. So I got to do something about this. This other thing I got is it's the same kind of thing. But mostly I got this for recording stuff anything that comes over an HDMI connection. So something that might come off of a DVD or something that I've recorded. It also can use, there's this 3-wire, it's got video and 2 audio ports. It'll also take that. This also costs.
What's it called?
Huh?
What's it called? The name of the
It's
device?
called Colossus 2 HD video recorder.
Okay.
So those are the two things. I also got this shirt. There was a poll taken that said like 51% of millennials think socialism is okay. Well, I don't, so I thought I'd say so. Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Question?
Yes.
Hello, Simon. When you mentioned connecting to your antenna, is that an antenna for digital or is
Well,
the old
it's
analog
the
one?
same, that's a good question. It's the same kind of antenna that they used to have on houses. It's got the long rods that are like at a 90-degree angle to each other, or 45 to the main stick. And there's like 3 of those, and then there's a bunch of, that's for the lower frequency, lower end of the TV band. For the higher frequency ends of the TV band, they have a bunch of reflectors that are about that far apart. And I bought an antenna along with this. I didn't want to bring that in. It's like 7 feet long. And I put a mast up on the roof, and those old antennas, they receive, they call it UHF. So an older antenna that does both VHF and UHF works just fine. And this is like the older antenna, except it's bigger. And I got it, there's a website you can go to. It says, you just tell them your address, and they say, this is where you want to point your antenna if you want to get like the stuff on the Sears Tower. And it's 142 degrees, so I got up and did some measurements, and I made this mast. It's like 14 feet tall that's on my roof. I made it out of like 1.5-inch conduit, thin wall conduit. I had to do some, they come in 10-foot sections, right, Roger? Good. And so you weld them together, and you can cut off the excess, and you can. And I got 2 other pieces at angles to support the thing. It's a pretty tall mast. And so now I got it at 142 degrees, and I get really good reception.
The reason I asked is I was using the thing you put on your window and it's not that helpful.
Yeah.
I can, but I don't pay for cable, so. But I also have an antenna in my attic that I haven't used, so I thought I would connect it and just see what it would do.
Yeah. Well, these things take coaxial cable. So some antennas have like the 300 ohm twin lead kind of thing. And there's a little transformer that either comes with an antenna or you can buy it separately. And it takes it, because the antenna puts out the twin lead stuff normally, the 300 ohm, 2 separate terminals. So you have to bring those together into this little, called balun, for balanced and unbalanced, and I don't want to get into all the RFs. But into that you screw the regular 75 ohm coaxial cable and run that down to that's Dave.
Have you tried to get Milwaukee from here?
No.
Yeah, I get Milwaukee.
I prep. You get Milwaukee? Okay.
Channel 10 and Channel 36 out of Milwaukee.
Okay.
I have an antenna in my roof space. They don't let me put anything on.
Yeah.
Where do you get that balanced device? There's no Radio Shack. Where do we get that little device?
For the balun? Boy, you should. Internet. Yeah. I mean, usually when I bought the antenna, it came with one. So I did, and the antenna was like $80 or something like that. Because I wanted a good antenna, because I was, I planned to, I don't want any more. With satellite TV, the prices been just going out of control. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that, there's one other thing I wanted to show there. I found this, let me see if I can get this up here. Here we go. It's a place where you can get free channels over the internet. It's, you can't see it. It's US, if you want to write this down, it's US TV 247 for like 24/7 .com.
Would you repeat the number again?
US TV 247 .com. And it's got like over 40 different channels. Since I do some babysitting, I like to do the Disney Channel. I don't know if it will come out with
There we go. She just told
So, and this is
me
free.
It's
It's free. It's absolutely free. And it's a short URL too. I mean, that's a nice thing. Wait, let me shut this off. Oh yeah. You click over here, you can make it full screen, and you can control the volume. Yeah, that's nice. You can control the volume. And just, for those who are cord cutters or who just don't even have an antenna, this is a really good resource for all kinds of, it's got, well, let me go through some of these channels, just so you know what so you've got Turner Classic Movies, Animal Planet, Hallmark Channel live stream, Major League NFL, Sci-Fi. There's just, over 40 channels. So go look at it. See, there's probably something you like on it. And it's free. That's free.
On my cell phone, I connect up to TuneIn, TUNEIN radio.com. And what that is, broadcast radio.
Okay.
It's been ported into the internet. Primarily, I look at news stations.
Yeah. Me too.
WGN and an NPR station. And MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, just audio.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
TuneIn, TUNEIN, radio.com. TuneInradio.com.
Well, I gotta write that down.
I used to listen to that a lot.
Brad, is there a subscription fee for that?
Nope,
Okay.
it's free. It's paid for by the broadcast station.
Really?
WCBM is not covered. They have their own, which is kind of loses the effect.
Yeah.
But you can go to the WDBM station and get that live.
I have other,
So it's tuneinradio.com.
Fred, when you go up on the group email and share the information, both of you guys,
Yeah.
Up on the group
Well,
site.
you know what,
post it up on the group site and share the information.
yes. I will do that.
I have simple radio, I get all the, right now, it's on, Kim Commando is on right now, it's WLS. And I hardly use my regular radio station. I like to listen to WLS at night, a talk show. I hardly get it on the radio, so I listen on my phone.
Okay, and what's
Simple,
the-
simple, it's an app, simple radio.
Oh, it's an app,
Yeah,
okay.
it's an app for the phone. Yeah, well, this is from the iPhone, so I don't know what,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
iPhone.
this is, well, yeah, okay, it's WLS, WGN, I like to listen to that. I don't know what else, search.
I like TuneIn Radio because
Okay.
because you can flip to other channels. It's quick.
Oh,
You like to
okay.
follow through some menu somewhere and bring up some other app.
Oh, this
One
one,
app,
So you could get that on a tablet or a phone or a
I'm pretty sure
computer?
it's available.
Oh,
on other-
sure.
I mean, if any place with a website,
Yeah.
and ends in .com, you can get it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Tune in radio.
Okay.
Is this just AM radio or is it AM and FM?
It's AM and FM. I get WBEZ and what's the other one? WTTW.
Are a lot of different countries.
Is that worldwide, Fred, or just for the US station?
I don't know.
This one is international. I see Canada.
Yep.
One, two, about $300 just to get that hooked up.
That's right.
Say
And I'm not spending another dime on my satellite. I mean, that was like, so that's like 2 months
Oh, sure.
worth of DirecTV for the hardware I bought.
Is
And-
higher,
and-
they're the
huh?
highest one, DirecTV is the
I
highest.
w- Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. It was pretty, it was just getting terrible.
It's terrible.
It just kept creeping up and,
Oh, yeah, they're the highest of all.
yeah.
Dish is not as
Something
high.
on ESPN.
Okay.
Huh?
Not radio, sorry. That's right.
Oh, US TV,
It's a supporter area. I wanted to see it.
yes, yes.
How do these guys make any money?
You know, I presume it's advertising, although I haven't really seen any of their advertising. I'm guessing they have some sort of deal. I mean, when I first saw this, there's like 5 different stations, and now it's over 40 now. So they're doing something right. They're signing these guys up for a reason. And it must be, mutually beneficial. I'd like to try. So,
You hear their commercials.
huh?
You hear their commercials.
That's right, yeah. I mean, it's like getting stuff over the antenna, you still get the commercials. But if you record it, of course, you can, get through it. That's
I
right.
think TuneIn Radio plugs in some of its own commercials over the top of the
Okay.
broadcast commercials. Sometimes.
Yeah.
And they frequently put a picture up because you're just getting audio.
Yeah.
They might as well show you the commercial on that picture.
It may be the same thing with these guys. Maybe they just substitute commercials. I mean, how would you know? On most stations they do. Disney, they have a real problem with it. If any of you guys try the Disney Channel, which if you have grandchildren, you probably will. They have places where they keep repeating the same segment like 2 or 3, 4 times, and then it'll say, "We'll be right back," and then they have commercials. So I think they're like juggling the space or something like that, so they can put their own commercials in. I don't know how that works. It's still, but it's great free television. I really like it. Yes.
And associated with different radio stations, they're branded spokespeople. They get their own podcast. So if you like something on WLS and there's some particular broadcaster you like, you can just listen to that and select that only. And if you start with last week's, when you're doing this, it seems to automatically continue to the next week if you don't turn it off.
Oh.
So you could put it on that guide and say, I want this podcast, and then every week you get it.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of new things opening up, and
I'm looking at my apps here on this. There's a lot of free radio station apps, which is
Okay.
interesting. A lot of different ones on here.
okay. Well,
I assume if I didn't behave as I normally do, I probably looked at a lot of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I don't remember.
Where do you register?
Prager University, yeah. Yeah, they do short clips of, different issues that people want to know about. Political, economic, so I thought, well, $30, it's going to a good cause, and I get to help. Okay, any other questions?
Okay, thank you, Lester.
Hey, you're welcome.
I'm going to start with what we did early in the week. Howard and I went to the VA, and since many of us are getting older, what Howard's getting by going to the VA in Milwaukee, I'm glad it was not weather like this. It was nice on Wednesday, but we left the house at 10:30 in the morning and got home at 5.
Wow.
And because his vision, he has low vision and low hearing, he's getting all sorts of things free. Now, there's more things in Wisconsin available and different websites, but he's going to get a computer. We can get a computer, which is not free, but it's a Windows Professional computer. Windows 10 Professional can be on it for, if it's a desktop, $138. And there's different add-ons you can make to get more memory, and you can get various other things that we all know about. Or you can get it and you can put on other programs. It comes on with programs that will read everything that's on the screen. You can choose one that just enlarges the screen, and there's one called Fusion, which combines the two. That, of course, inspired me. I like that. Then Howard happened to mention that we're in a book club. And she says, oh, have I got something for you? Audio books. Okay, the thing is this big. My dad had audio books on, I believe, a tape reader, which was hard for him to read. This thing takes this little thing, you put it in there, and it reads to you. He's getting a unit about this big that will help him read something like, if you give him a business card and he can't read it, he can put this there. But more importantly, he can take it with him and go to a bloody restaurant that has a menu that they don't understand, that as, particularly as your eyes age, that certain contrasts don't show up. They think it looks beautiful and they're very happy with it. And it takes out the color, and you can read the menu. And you can read the menu if it's this much, because she had a sheet that had different ones, and I gave him the lowest, the smallest writing, which was about like this big. Can you read that? Wow, I can read that. He's getting a big thing to read the paper, and you put the paper down here. But the advantage that for him, it will also, he can put a tablet down there, and he can get back to his sketching with this unit. So we're pretty excited about what happened up there. So that has nothing to do with computers, but after that, and before I get to this, and since there are two new members of what computer catastrophes can happen, of course, we all know that. My son calls up and says, my computer won't start, Mom. Well, my son's a musician, all of you know that. He writes music, he has a band, and he has a children's band and an adult children band. And so he writes music individually for each student in the band. To do that, he needs his program, but the computer won't turn on. And I gave him different things to try. Well, my issue was, I haven't had a Windows 7 computer, ever. And this is a Windows 7 computer. So I was trying all the things. He finally brought it over yesterday and said, Mom, can you have it by tomorrow? I said, I'm not getting home. I just walked in the house. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. I don't know. I'll try. And I kept pressing things, and none of the systems were getting me to the advanced, so that he could go, I could try the safe mode and this and that. And I'm calling up Lester, and I'm saying, can you come down? And he said, well, you could bring it in. And he brought a monitor for me. But as I'm talking to him, all of a sudden I pressed, I'm not really sure what, but on this particular computer, it comes up, it's the top one. Fix your computer. It will not do anything to your files. So said, Les, I got to try this and see. Guess what? It fixed the computer. It loaded up. I left it that way all night. And I thought, okay, now I know it still starts. I thought, do I turn it off? I better turn it off. So I turned it off and I thought, okay, let's see what happens when I turn it on. Will it still get there? And evidently what it was doing was an update that took forever. And I said, okay, I'm gonna go in the other room. And it did the update, and there were all Jimmy's files and all open just the way we wanted them. So that was really cool. Now, I was looking and cleaning house because our grandchildren, my grandson moved in with his girlfriend, took over the room that I basically was using for storage. We call it Linda's room. When she comes in, she sleeps on the bed for whatever. She's here for a few days during the year. But I don't need this room. It was the master bedroom. Happens to be the smallest room in the house. Why that was chosen as the master bedroom, but it has a bath. So we chose that one. And we've been moving things and preparing things to throw out. And I'm preparing stuff for my grandchildren on genealogy, which I do, which is why Phil mentioned it earlier. So I ran across letters that I had written, holiday letters. And I thought, wow, these kids have never seen that. I was going to write something special for them. They haven't seen the letters I wrote, and I read the letter the year they were born. And I read when their cousin was born the year before. I thought, they might be interested in this. They're going to college, and they've asked me about genealogy. So I got all of Howard's cards that he drew, and my letters. Of course, finding the letters besides the copies, the printed copies, I couldn't find on my computer. Because when I updated to Windows 10, it hid them in various places. So I don't know where they are, but I have a lot of old computers. So the first thing I did is I ordered this, which is called an all-in-one HDD docking system. I went on Amazon, and it takes your SATA and your HDD, SATA, IDE thing, and it's really quite simple. It takes a lot of different things, but all it is, you take your drive and go right there, and I had a drive sitting right in front of me, an old drive, and I sat it in there. Oh, I can see all the programs, the documents that I had on that particular drive, which wasn't even in the computer. Wow, I could take the drives from all these computers and put them in here. Well, it doesn't take the laptop one, so I have to get something else for that. So I thought that was really exciting, and I said to Jim, even if we can't get your computer started, I've got something that will read the drive so that we can put it on another computer. And so that I thought was really cool. Then as I was telling Lester and JJ before, this one I hadn't even opened. And JJ said he had used it before. It's called Picture Keeper. And when you've heard me talk, I usually talk and mention a particular person called Thomas McAtee. And he advertises things, genealogy bargains. But what intrigued me about this was a Picture Keeper, and it will take only 32 gigs. I know that's not a tremendous amount, but I believe it will sort it and everything. Takes it off your computers, whether it's a PC or a Mac, Facebook photos, email photos, and skips duplicates. How much better can it get? I haven't tried it yet because I opened it right here at the beginning of the meeting. But I thought that was an interesting item to have for anybody that takes photos. Now, for JJ, who takes billions of photos, not so good. For most people,
Not billions, just
even if
millions.
I can get it off, I can transfer from here to my computer or to an external drive. I believe because it's just a little zip drive is all it is with a program on it. And I thought that was pretty good. The other thing that Howard, which reminds me, his little thing that can do that is he can take a picture. Up to 80 pictures it will hold on this thing. And then you can transfer it to somewhere else so that you can think. There's a website also for movies he's getting as they're going. She came in the room when we were with the second person. Said, guess what I found? Here's this thing, and they have it here, and you go and you get all these movies that you can get, and all of it's free at the if you're a member of the VA. So those of you who haven't looked around and haven't started with disabilities, they're out there, and there's lots of things besides shoes, which Howard's been getting for years, and hearing aids, which he's gotten for years. But there's all sorts of other things that are really exciting out there. So, that's it.
Thank you, Bobby.
Tablets, phones. This is an Android tablet, Windows tablet. When you, excuse me, when you are out and about, sometimes you take your laptop, but other times you take your tablet or your phone, and you'd say it'd be nice to have a keyboard, nice to be able to do things with it as you would at home. You can buy, depending on the tablet, you buy a case with a keyboard on it and so forth, or you can buy one of these. This is from Logitech. It's a keyboard with a slot in it, and you can put your tablet in it like this, or like this, okay. Or you can put your phone in there like this, or like this, and so on. Or you can put your Windows tablet in there like this, or like this. You've seen these before. What's the big deal? The big deal on this one is, and this is Bluetooth connectivity to your tablets and so forth. This particular model, and you can't see that from back in the room, has a little dial up here on the corner. 1, 2, 3. So this will pair to 3 devices. Okay? So you can switch them off. Same keyboard. Just click it down here. 1, 2, 3. You've got a little button over here. One's for a PC, one's for Android, just to connect. It's already paired, but when you want to switch it out, you want to put it in your Android tablet, put it in your Android phone, push it, connect, it connects to it, and you're ready to go. So you don't have to keep pairing them each time. Now, but that's only half of the puzzle. What I have here is another Logitech product called a triathlon mouse. Now the triathlon should be a giveaway. There's a little button in the back, 1, 2, 3. Guess what? Same thing. You can pair this to those 3 different devices, or any 3 devices, and just whenever you're ready, okay, which device am I using? Number 2, okay, fine, and you're connected and away you go. So you've seen these, they've been around for quite a while. These happen to be on sale before Christmas, so I treated myself to some new toys, and it's kind of a handy. I'd never seen these before where they offer an opportunity to do more than 1 device at a time. So that's it.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm sorry?
What price range?
Well, they were on sale for $19.95 each. So, you know, I'm a step behind Lester, but I'm right with him. And but the regular price is like $39.95 or $34.95, something like that. But whether it was just a holiday sale or whether they're discontinuing them, I'm not sure. I got them both at Staples. And they're both my Logitech. The mouse is called a triathlon mouse. I'm trying to see if there's a number on it. Yeah, it's an M720, 720 model. M is in Mike. But it's called a triathlon mouse. And the keyboard is K4 480. K as in King, 480. Next.
Thank you.
I've got the latest Apple phone. It's the XR.
Oh, you too?
No, it's
I got one, too.
It's the XR. I guess it's not, Apple said they're going to sell so many of them, and they're not selling real well. Well, I can see with the price. So a few months ago, I was in the Apple store. It's kind of a dangerous place when you go in that Apple store because everything looks so tempting. And I was thinking, well, let me get a new phone. I was going to get one, maybe in a year, but I'll get it, this year. So I was in the Apple store, and one guy said, you have the 7. Salesman said, you have the 7. It's a good phone. Okay, I agree. But I walked out of the store. Oh, I'm sorry. Can everybody hear me back there?
Yeah.
I've got a pretty loud voice, I guess, so I'm not going to use this. So, walked out of the store, at Apple, a good thing. But then one day we were in Kenosha, just kind of, I don't know, we went and met there at a restaurant. And let's go shop at Costco. So we go to Costco, it was a Sunday, and they had iPhones. And look at these phones, and I already knew that I liked the XR because there's 2 other iPhones. They're really expensive, like $1,000. Like, it's gonna walk around with a computer with $1,000. So I looked at the XR, and they had Costco has a coupon for $220 off. It was this phone. Yeah, it retails for $749, so I got $220 off. In the beginning of November. I know it's splurging, but this is my retirement. That's my hobby. That's what I spend most of the time on the phone, the iPad, or the computer. A lot of times I'm just sitting on the iPad looking at YouTube a lot. I just sit there for hours. And so I decided to get it, but because of that discount, but like I say, I would have probably got one anyway. But the good thing, of course, at Costco, they wouldn't have set anything up, and I go, well, okay. But it was kind of easy to pair it with Bob kept the 7. He needs a phone. A lot of times he's out. He has no phone. Oh, I need something at the store, and Bob is around. So he's got my 7, which is still really a good phone. And they still sell the 7s, I think they're still like $500. But I'm glad I kept it. And but one reason I like this phone, it has the Face ID, which I really like. It's, I got my phone before I had my 7. I was never locking it. Well, now I got an app from my bank if I want to, go in there. So I said I better keep it locked. But it's so nice. First time I have to key in my code, the 6 numbers. Now after, I like it locked maybe after 30 seconds or 3 minutes, depends where I use it. So I like the Face ID, which is nice. But like I say this is my drinking and smoking money, which I won't do. So I'll spend it on a phone, but I just kind of enjoy, keeping up with technology. And then if I learn something, maybe I can help somebody else. To me, it's fun, and life's short, so let's have some fun.
I was skeptical of the Face ID when they came out with it last year, but here, I got the.
You got it?
I got one about 2 months ago.
I
Enjoy
really-
it. The thing about it locks your phone if you put it down. You have to pick it up and look at it, and then locks the phone because you recognize your face.
Yeah.
In order to set it up, it recognizes your own face, so you got to do a roundabout in the screen before you get the Face ID. But what I like about it, if you get a phone call, it rings your phone, but as soon as you look at it, the tone goes down and the phone, or faint phone ringing, okay? Which
Oh, I haven't noticed that
it
yet.
does that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have a lot of accounts on mine that I like to secure, so I have to shut down.
Especially with your bank, And I use this for, like I say, with bank, they have an app that I'll put on this phone. So when I go on the computer, I sign in, and then I get a message on here, so I tap on the app, and this app has, there's like a circle, and maybe it's good for 30 seconds with a number. So it's short, because a lot of times with this two-step, or what they call, I can't even say the word, that if hackers are really good, they could still capture this number.
Yeah.
And then also, I'm thinking of getting a password keeper or a password manager. It's a little device. How much was it, Bob?
That's about
$50.
$50 per
There's a
piece.
$50 device. I was thinking I'm gonna
You
get
need
it
two
for.
of them, though, right?
No,
It
I-
comes with two, but you
two.
only need one.
Well, I looked at the company. It's Ubit. I think it's Ubit.
YubiKey.
YubiKey. If you get it, you know, you should buy two, it's $100, and but then if I went to Amazon, you could get one for the 50, and you know, there's a place you can test and make sure it's real, because you gotta watch out for counterfeits. That's the problem with Amazon. You know, there's people selling, how do you know it's real? So you can, you know, there's a test, and like with another thing, not really a computer, but a water filter, you know, we have under the sink water filter, or we're looking, we can't get it locally. Well, anyway, Bob did get one locally, but the reason I was thinking get it local, somebody bought one and they had a problem. It's like this filter is like 50 to 100 bucks. They bought one counterfeit. You don't know. That's why I'm real careful with, you know, there's scammers up there and Amazon doesn't know. And maybe if it's from the website fulfilled by Amazon, I think you can trust it a little better. So, okay, thank you.
ShowNTell, and as you've seen so far, a lot of the show and tell this month is going toward technology. And the club has sort of been leaning that way also. A lot of things, other than computers, people talk about computers, but a lot of things we're getting to is like technology nowadays. The Ring doorbell, for example, and a few other things are tech. So, this is not working for me.
I think maybe I
Oh,
turned
maybe
it
I'll put
off.
down?
Maybe I turned it off, JJ, let me see.
Okay, on, off. It's off. I'm gonna push the button, it may work.
No, the bottom button.
On the button? Oh, okay. So, therefore, it works. So what did I put in my Christmas stocking? Well, it's not really a stocking this year, I'm gonna call it my toy box. It's J. Joy's Toy Box, my toys. Here again, J.J. Johnson, U.S. and retarded. So what's in my toy box this year? So, first of all, we're going to talk about the DJ Osmo Pocket, which is a camera, the Fitbit Versa, which I purchased, and I've been using Fitbit for a while, and Amazon's come out with a new toy called the Amazon Show 2, the upgraded new show. So the Osmo Pocket, what is it? It's a camera, as you see there, that you fit into your pocket. I've been carrying around, I've had an Osmo for a couple of years, for a year or so now, and I can't get it out of the case. And I wanted something a little smaller to carry around. I took day trips to my senior center, and I've been carrying around this device called, and it don't work, the video's not working, I figured that. It's gonna show the pocket, and that video's not working either. Anyhow, but what it is, it's a little three-axis gimbal device. And what I mean by 3 axes, it has the tilt, X, Y, Z, and forward tilt on it. So what happens when you turn it on, as you can see, it goes into setup, checks itself, and now I can see everybody in the room. But it takes pictures and videos.
Oh, wow.
I was supposed to have videos with this. And the reason I bought this, for a couple years ago, I bought DJI drones. And DJI is a drone company that's had part of the market, about 70% of the market for about, the last couple of years. They're the best drone sellers out there. I bought the DJI Spark, before Christmas, before last. And then in January, that's what they came out with. 2 months later, they came out with the DJI Spark. So I fly 2 drones and I play around with those. But that's one of the reasons I trusted DJI. So I had the DJI Osmo Mobile, which is this device, and I've taken it on a couple of trips. It's the same thing, it's a 3-axis gimbal. You put your phone in it, but can you imagine carrying this around on a trip? You're taking pictures, kind of large, and it's cruising, okay. But anyhow, so when the DJI came out about a month ago with the Osmo Pocket, I decided to jump onto it. Now, it doesn't have a phone that you can install into it. It has a little small screen, which you can see. But as I'll show a bit later, you can attach your phone to it so you have a bigger resolution. Now, what does it have? As I said, it's lightweight, so you can see you can carry it in your hand, real small. 3 gimbal axis, and the camera itself tilts in 3 different directions. 4K. 4K video is a big thing now. Everybody's coming out with 4K TVs, 4K pictures. And I shoot video and I shoot pictures, but 4K, it gives you better definition of picture, high definition picture. Intelligent shooting, meaning that you can push a little button and track whatever you want to, which I'll show a little later. And it has about 140 minutes, which is a little about 2 hours of runtime in it. So I can videotape or take pictures in about 2 hours. I've taken a trip with it so far, and I've gone through maybe about not even half the battery pack on this. This has an internal battery, so you can't replace the battery and recharge it. And there's tons of accessories coming out for this device. Like I said, this hit the market about a month ago, and DJI just released their accessory package about a week ago. I haven't gotten mine yet, so I don't have the accessories for it. But third parties are putting out the accessories for it, for holders and extra things and cables and everything. This is what you get in the box. You get the pocket, you get a little carrying case for it. You get a cover, which is the cover. A smartphone adapter for lightning cable. The lightning cable is for the Apple phones. Unfortunately, they don't have an adapter at this time that I know of for Android phones. But they do have an adapter, which is USB-C, which is a new type of USB connector that's coming out. I know Apple is putting the USB-Cs in their new tablets, if you buy one of the new tablets. And a lot of phones are coming out with USB-C now. And the power cable. Okay, this is supposed to be a video. It doesn't show very well, but it's actually a roller coaster. And if you're riding a roller coaster and you're doing all the loops and turns, the gimbal will stabilize and follow the turns as you're going around the turns and upside down or whatever. So it gets really nice tracking. As I said, 180-degree tracking. Now it says 180-degree. Turn it back on. And we can take a 180-degree panorama. It has a little screen on the back. All I do is use my thumb and move it. So if I take a 180-degree panorama, it's going to take a shot around the room. So I just got a wide angle shot of everybody in the room. Now if I go to the 180-degree back. 180-degree. One more time. Get up. Johnston. Panorama. 3x3. What it's going to do, it's going to take 3 pictures across, 3 pictures in the middle, and 3 pictures down. So here's your 380-degree, 3x3. 1, 2, 3. Down. 1, 2, 3. And then it's going to go 1, 2, 3. So what you get is a 3-degree, 3x3, 9 pictures. And it didn't. Wasn't supposed to do that. Back up. Okay, anyhow, it takes 9 shots. Okay, as for the active tracking, as for example, if I go somewhere, as I want to track on, for example, active tracking, fill, and I go to video, and I tap on fill. You can't see it, it's a little light. Tracking. Okay, what it'll do is I move around the room, the camera will follow whoever you got it tracked on. And if it's like a building or something like that, the camera will track. I can't switch you the light for some ungodly reason. Let's try this one more time. Track not available on FTV. Okay, back up. Not working today. But anyhow, that's what it's supposed to do. It does outside. It will work. And let's see, as I said, the 180 I showed you, the 3x3 I showed you, the mono, oh, there we go. It shows the 3x3. It takes 3 or 9 shots. And then here, motion lapse. I haven't had the opportunity to do this, but I've done it with my older cameras because I can sit and take motion lapse. And what you do is you set your timer on here to take pictures every 3 seconds, 5 seconds, or whatever, and for how long. So as you can see, this person here took trails on a highway, and every 3 seconds he took a shot of these pictures. And that's what the trailing is about that. It's nice. I was going to do it early in the room, but I was busy. I was going to have everybody track as I came in the room, so you can see everybody moving as a track, but I didn't set it up that way. And also it does really nice shots. As I said, on the front, you have a little device, which is your lightning connector for iPhone. Turn it around, plug it into your phone, and now you have a bigger display. And with the bigger display, you have a few more extra features that you can use. But you can use that, you can use it to turn the camera, the phone dead. This is why I switched to a new iPhone XR. If this phone dies, I just charged it yesterday and it's dead already. So that's my reason for switching. But you can actually control the gimbal and move up and down. You can go into your video modes and you can tell stories with the new Mimo device that plugs in. Storytelling, create professional videos, sound tracking, and a few other things. Okay, as we continue on right quick. That was supposed to be a video also. Carrying cases, this is a carrying case that automatically turns around. They have a wireless module coming out. Back up. A wireless module is coming out, like I said, with new features, accessories coming out pretty soon. Extension cable, which acts like a selfie stick, you can attach to it. And a waterproof case for those who like to go swimming. There's wireless module, there's the selfie mode, so I can take pictures of selfie. And I don't go swimming. I'm a sailor who don't swim. Okay. But here, if you'd like to take this device underwater, there's a waterproof case for it for those people who like to go down to the Bahamas or whatever, Jamaica, and go water surfing with it. And like I said, it uses a 3-axis gimbal. You can go on and take pictures of the fishies and whatever as you're down there swimming underwater. All right, that's the Osmo. Now, Fitbit for health. I talked about the Fitbit before, and Fitbit keeps coming out with new devices. I talked about the Fitbit Charge, I think last year, the Charge 2, and now they have one called the Fitbit Versa. And that's supposed to be a video, but evidently it's not working on this computer. So the Fitbit Versa, as you can see, is more of a watch type rather than the Fitbit Charge, which is a smaller band. And it has an on-screen watch, on-screen workout. In other words, you can set it up to tell you to go work out or something, or tell you to go take steps. Like mine's set up for every couple hours to tell me, okay, you need to take 200 more steps this hour, or whatever. It warns you. It has silent alarms, which will wake you up in the morning. Mainly, I use mine for keeping track of my walking and keeping track of my sleep, which I'll show a bit later. It has a 4-day battery life. It lasts about 4 days, and it has a really nice charging device that you just snap it in, and it plugs in and it charges. It takes about 2 hours to charge it up to full. Heart tracking, it keeps track of your heart. You just tap on it, and push the screen up, and you tell you what your heartbeat is, your resting heartbeat or whatever. Smartphone notifications. If I have a phone call or a message on my phone, it will ring my phone because it's linked to my phone, to my watch, and it lets me know that Judy's calling me or I have a text or whatever. I have sensors in my basement to turn my lights on. And for some reason, every time I go in my basement, I get a notification I'm in my basement. Okay. Anyhow, GPS connection, it uses GPS to track where you're at. A lot of devices do that with the phones and everything. Customized clocks. Oh, darn, I customized my clock. It looks like somebody I know. Anyhow, you customize the clock face. There are different clocks that you have. And here again, like I said, NCF notifications. Everybody familiar with NCS, or NFC rather? It's the new devices on your credit card sensors where you can go tap your phone. Your iPhone has iPhone Pay, or if you have it set up on your watch, just tap your watch to the pay device and then pay for whatever you need at the store. That's what NFC is all about. As I said, I use it for personal tracking. Keeps track of steps I take per day, tells me what my heartbeat is, how many days per week I've worked out, and if you slide it up a little bit, it keeps track of your sleep. And it tells you how many hours of sleep you have, how much time you've been awake during that period of time, how much time you went into light sleep, deep sleep, and how much time you were awake during that period of time. And that's mostly what I use mine for.
Does it give you a graph of your...
It gives you a graph.
Of your heart rate?
It will give you, actually, it gives you numbers, your heart rate. I'm not quite sure if it gives you a graph or not. Okay, I haven't found that. I'm not quite sure if it does that or not.
But you can see what your heart rate was
Yes, you can see what your heart rate
ago?
Yes.
4 hours ago?
No, well, from what I've seen, the present. Okay. Fitbit today tells you what your steps are for the day. It tells you what your remaining movement time. Like I said, it tells you here again, you need to do 60 more steps this hour. In other words, get up and move. That's what it's telling you to do. Get up your butt and move. And here again, breathing. The breathing exercise, all it tells you to do, watch your watch, you go. And it does that for about 2 minutes, gives you breathing exercise, you can do this. Plus there's about 5 exercises that you can do, legs lift, push-ups, and whatever. And it walks you through those. Okay? Like the other Fitbit, the Charge 2 that I purchased a year or so ago, it has different bands that you can get. This is the band that came with it. I have another band which I haven't put on yet, but I got to take it to a jeweler and get the rings put in it. Right now the one I got was too small. But I got a metal band instead of the leather band. And, okay, that's the Fitbit. Now, you guys ever heard of this company? Amazon. Every time you turn around, Amazon is doing something. Amazon is getting a divorce. It's going to cost him a whole bunch of money. And he's going to divorce his wife, and she's going to be the richest woman in the world. But anyhow, he comes out with some neat features. The Amazon Show, which I bought a couple years ago, but it's been replaced. That mess. I think I've only had it a year. It's been replaced already. The only thing this one here did, it came out a bigger screen, bigger sound, bigger screen, and more money. I got this one here for $139 during Christmas. Okay, but that's what you can find it for. What I use it for: premier sound, bigger screen, color black and white, voice sound, voice control, smart home, and over 50,000 skills. As I use it for basically is home smart home. As Judy can tell you here again, it comes in, it tells me that somebody's at my door, and I can have it show my cameras as I was showing DeVore and Fritz in the back. I have 2 Ring doorbells, front door and side door. If somebody rings it, I tell Alexa, which sits in my living room, show me side doorbell. I have 5 Arlo cameras sitting around my house. I can have Alexa show me any one of the cameras in the house. Okay? I can have her play music for me. Judy's always asking her questions. Last night before we went to bed, she was having her playing Johnny Cash all night. But other than that, Amazon, Apple will do about anything you want it to do. Now I know Google's got one out and Apple's got one out, but right now, Amazon is the biggest seller. This is supposed to be also video. My videos are not working for some godly reason. I don't know why. Anyhow, this is a video. As I said, control lights, cameras, thermostats, microwave. Just before Christmas, they came out with a $59 microwave that can be controlled with your Alexa device. Why I want to control my microwave? Okay, microwave burns something for 2 minutes, whichever. Thermostat. Last year, I went to my senior center. They had a energy conservation presentation from the energy company, and they told us about the Ecobee thermostat. And I signed up for it. It came out, gave me the home conservation check and everything, make sure I had LED lights and stuff like that in my house. And he had an Ecobee thermostat on his truck, so I had him install it. I got it for $100 off the original price. He installed it for me. The Ecobee thermostat has Alexa built into it, but now either from here or whatever, or across the country. I can tell the Ecobee, turn the thermostat up, down, turn on the air conditioner or whatever. Or I can just turn over and say, Alexa, temperature 75 degrees. Temperature 75 degrees, she tells me that. But here again, Alexa's doing all this stuff for me. And, as I said, Alexa is built into the thermostat. If you're checking the news or reading anything about Amazon right now, Amazon is having more and more devices with Alexa built into it. And there's more and more devices, like the 50,000 devices that can be connected to the Amazon Echo. All right. That was also supposed to be a video. Videos are not working. Anyhow, always ready to help. Recipes. See, I got some chicken thighs in the refrigerator and I want to cook them. Alexa, give me a recipe for chicken thighs and she'll give you a whole list of recipes. You just type on the ones you like and she'll show you how to cook it. Anybody familiar with sous vide cooking? Other than a DeBoer and this back there. I bought a sous vide cooker about a year ago. Judy's granddaughter got me into it. And Alexa is connected to that. She can turn the temperature on and off and down, whatever, on my sous vide cooking. Order from Amazon. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can set up to order something. Especially if you're running something low on cat food, dog food, whatever. Amazon order dog food. She'll order for you. Right to your account. Don't have to go online and say click, 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 click. Just say Alexa order. Reminders. Reminders. Amazon, remind me computer meeting. When would you like a reminder? 11 o'clock, Saturday, January 12th. So 11 o'clock, I got a reminder. Not that the meeting started at 12 o'clock or 12:30, I had it at 11 o'clock so I can get up, get dressed, and be ready to go. If you set your timer or calendar, you set the calendar for the exact date, time, whatever for your event. And maybe 2 days before, Amazon will scroll up and show you all your events, upcoming events. Or you can say, Alexa, show me the calendar, and she'll show you all your upcoming events. And timers, if you're cooking, like I like to cook a lot, or I like to burn up food a lot, or whatever. I'm cooking. It says cook for 24 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 24 minutes. And 24 minutes, since I also have my lights connected to my Amazon, my lights will flash, and this thing will buzz and says timer up. Okay? To let me know my 24 minutes is up. Home security. As I talked about, I already have home security. I got 5 RO cameras, and I got my doorbells all hooked up to Alexa. So I can have it show me any one of these cameras anytime just by asking. Stock up, that was supposed to be a video. You can use Alexa with a new Connect device, but this one has it built into it, that you can use it to call people. Call your friends, call your family, call your mother. If they have an Alexa device, or Amazon device like the Dot, or the Show, here again you got video calling on it, which is nice. You can see each other and talk to them. And here again, if you want to show something, you're talking about showing YouTube all the time, Linda. YouTube, Amazon Music, CNN, NBC, ring my Ring doorbells. All of those can be viewed on your Alexa show. My references for this videotape or video is DJI.com, Fitbit.com, and Amazon.com. Those are supposed to be videos too. My videos are not working. Next time I'll bring my own computer. Okay. Any questions?
What happens if your internet goes down? What happens to all these connections?
Then you're SOL. You know that means stuff out of luck.
No, I had the Nest. I had the Nest, and it turned my furnace on.
Say what?
I had the Nest computer.
Yes.
Thermostat, it turned it off, my furnace. Last year, New Year's Day, I had ice cubes coming out of my towel.
Who turned it off?
I didn't have internet connection, so it just failed. So I got rid of it.
Well, my Ecobee is connected to the wirings. Only thing I can do is control it, but it won't turn my furnace off.
And I had someone out there.
Yeah.
And there was nothing wrong with the furnace.
Well, if I lose power, I'll turn my furnace off, turn off the blower, but it will not turn my furnace off. You turn my thermostat up or down, but it won't turn it off.
And I just turned it
Yeah.
on. I wasn't home, so when I got home. it was
He
very
told me about that before,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so you were
It was a
living,
very costly experience.
so you were watching Frozen, huh? Question?
Well, the new Arlo Pro 2, if you lose your internet connection and you have a USB key plugged in to the base station, it will continue to record to the USB. You won't obviously get anything going up the cloud because
Okay.
the internet's down.
Yeah, I just got our old programs on our Pro 2s. Yeah.
Yeah, the original Arlo base station had a USB port, but it wasn't activated.
Okay.
So the Arlo Pro 2 base station, now it activates those USB.
Yeah, I know mine, I have the Arlo Pro station, it does have the ports in it where you can plug in a USB or a hard drive or whatever to it. Yeah. But like I said, I just got the Pro, not the Pro 2s. Yep. Any other questions?
The Nexia thermostat is hardwired, so it won't go down either.
Who?
Nexia has a
Okay.
thermostat, similar to what you have. And it's quite.
Well, my thermostat is hardwired,
Yeah.
but still here, it's got Wi-Fi which can be controlled with
Right,
Alexa.
that's what ours is.
Yeah, ours is like.
Yeah,
But
and
the
same
first-
thing, Nest has the same thing too. But right now, if you go online and look, you'll find out that the Ecobee is the best selling over the Nest. Even though Nest has been around longer, Ecobee is outselling Nest right now.
The only thing our Nexia came with a trained furnace,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I got a new furnace
Yeah.
and air conditioning system 2 years ago, but
Yeah.
here again, it came out with the standard, I think, Honeywell. And like I said, I went to that presentation, they offered it for
Yeah.
discount, so I got it. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.